Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. JCF provides more details on Elegant Scott death. The Jamaica Constable Force has provided more details in the death of dancehall entertainer Elegant Scott. The JCF's Corporate Communications Unit (CCU) says the entertainer was killed in the community of Russell Place Meadows in Mandeville at 2:40 a.m. yesterday morning. The police say Elegant Scott and a woman exited a party and were heading towards a vehicle when both were set upon. Both were shot. Elegant Scott died on the spot while the woman was taken to hospital. The police say investigations are already underway.
Alright, so the information I have on record is that it happened about 2:40. It happened in a place called Russell Place Meadows, that's in Mandeville, and it is said that the deceased man and a woman, they were leaving a party. They were heading to a car to go home when they were attacked by gunmen and shot.
DPP pleas police investigators once swayed by public outrage in Donaldson's case. Director of Public Prosecutions Paula Llewellyn is commending police investigators for the work done on the Donaldson case. Ms. Donaldson was reported missing on July 11. She has not been seen or heard from since. Police investigators yesterday arrested her boyfriend, Constable Noel Mayton, in relation to her disappearance. The DPP says she is pleased that the police did not allow themselves to be pressured by the sustained level of public outrage surrounding the case.
Pressure from the public and sometimes misunderstanding and thanklessness too. It goes with the territory. But this is what happens when you're a professional. You can't be detained by that. What is important is giving service above self and using your skill. And in fact, all of us as prosecutors, subsequently when we met at the office, remarked that we were quite impressed at the amount of ground that had been covered in the short space of time in what is a difficult investigation. Although we appreciate on a human level, the public angst, the anger or the emotion coming from very, very unfortunate and tragic circumstances in any case, in the court of public opinion, it cannot replace the requirements in a court of law. You cannot. What you have and what is disturbing, that you not only have persons who I call uninformed commentators, who because they want to get likes so that they can monetize their channel, they are prepared to transmit falsehoods, slander, libel, and falsehood. What it can do is distract the police and cause them sometimes to have to deploy their resources to follow a line of inquiry that is really a falsehood. So what I would ask members of the public to do is not to get too caught up into this hype and this, wanting to get likes, so you're going to just say anything. Allow the police investigators to do their job. I would wish to hasten to assure the public that there are several cases that the police and the prosecutors and INDICOM cooperating behind the scenes, and we have a conclusion that honors the administration of justice.
Mother of missing social media influencer hospitalized. Reporters understand that the mother of missing social media influencer Donaldson has been hospitalized. Sophia Log, who has led a campaign for justice for her daughter, was reportedly admitted to hospital following the steady deterioration in her health since Donaldson was reported missing. When contacted, a relative confirmed that Miss Long was in hospital. It's not immediately clear what her condition is. During a protest last week at the Constant Spring police station, Donnelly's uncle revealed that her mother had to be rushed to the hospital.
As I speak, we can go to UC right now. My sister rush gone to UC right now. Because it is killing my sister. You understand? It is killing the family. Not even knowing if we find her and we have our body to bury tonight, it will be 9 nights. At least we would have agreed, but we would have planned to put her to rest. Not knowing where she is, what happened to her, it is very hurting, it is disturbing, it is heart paining.
Education Minister, there shouldn't be a fine to implement the nutrition policy in schools. Education Minister Favour Williams says there shouldn't be a fine to implement the new nutrition policy in schools. She's responding to growing pushback among some stakeholders to the proposed policy, which will regulate what can be fed to students.
It shouldn't be a fight.
It should not be.
It should not be. I can say that this nutrition policy, the National School Nutrition Policy, has been in incubation since 2015. I think that's a long time. Here we are now with a document that we would have taken to Cabinet, gotten approval to lay it in Parliament as a green paper, meaning it's not law yet. It's not encoded in anything. It's a paper to which we're inviting broad consultation from across the landscape. Mm-hmm. So there's a big component of education that we have to do in the schools, but we also need to create the environment in our schools. And I know it's going to take us quite a bit in terms of resources. Not all our schools are adequately equipped right now in terms of their canteens and so forth, but we have to begin someplace to teach persons, to let all of Jamaica know that our children need to have healthy choices. We know that it helps our society to have these standards, to have these rules and so forth. You know, it's not anything goes in a society at all, because at the end of the day, when your health care bill balloons, everybody's going to be looking at the government of the day and wondering, what is the government doing? But guess what? It's been in your hands all along over these many decades in terms of what you put into your body. And we are giving you, as parents, as teachers, as manufacturers, as vendors, as concessionaires, guidelines for what we want to see in our schools being fed to our children.
NSWMA Executive Director says they are strengthening the company's internal control system. Executive Director at the National Solid Waste Management Authority, NSWMA, Arthur Garden, says they have already taken steps to strengthen the company's internal control system. An Auditor General's report highlighted that the NSWMA did not implement adequate control procedures to ensure special projects and seasonal works were executed at the agreed standard. The report says the company's internal control system is in urgent need of strengthening.
There's a lot of argument being made also about lack of controls. The truth is that we have a very robust procurement department that meets monthly and assess all projects that are done here. We are sending our reports, quarterly reports that we must do, and we do that every quarter. We have not been rebuked for any breach in that regard. The Auditor General would have asked us to tighten that up based on their report. And we did look at where we can go further tightening up in accordance with the report. There are two critical memos that we have in-house that shows the different times when we did tighten up in keeping with what our internal audit showed us. A lot of information is circulating that we don't have a needs analysis, so we don't know how much money we need. The truth is we do needs analysis on an annual basis. I am being told by the auditors that it doesn't meet the full requirement of a comprehensive need analysis. Fine. But to say we have none, that's not true. We do have, and we do that. The NSWMA has never had a fleet management system. The impression could be given like one was here and is no longer here. We have never had a fleet management. Do we need one? Absolutely. Running so much trucks, we need one. And that's why 2 years ago we took the proposal to the board and subsequently brought a supplier to do a presentation to our board. And we are now just in the process now of finalizing the purchase of land. And that was told also to the Auditor General. So that we don't have one now, that is true. We concede that point. But is it that we are not taking steps to acquire one? Absolutely.
Psychiatric evaluation for accused Cocopiece murderer complete. The psychiatric evaluation report of accused Roshane Barnett, who is charged with the murder of mother and 4 children in Cocopiece, Clarendon, has been completed. The last time Barnett appeared in court, presiding judge Justice Lenton Pusey had ordered a psychiatric evaluation. Reporters understand that when the accused appeared in court this morning, It was disclosed that the forensic psychiatric evaluation was completed. The report was served on the court, Barnett's attorney Tamika Harris, and the prosecution. Barnett has been charged with 5 counts of murder. The accused man allegedly murdered 31-year-old Kimisha Wright and her 4 children in Cocopese, Clarendon. He reported confessed in a caution statement to the police. 131 new COVID-19 cases, positivity rate at 26.5%. Jamaica's COVID-19 positivity rate is now at 26.5% after 131 cases of the virus were reported on Wednesday. The cases were detected during testing of 566 samples. The COVID-19 death toll remains at 3,187. The Ministry of Health says 102 patients are hospitalized, down from 107 on Tuesday. 7 patients are severely ill and 2 critically ill. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.